everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 679. We are that podcast that talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
And I'm Ari Rockefeller.
Can you please repeat yourself, good sir? You kind of came in a little, crunkled.
And I am Ari Rockefeller.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. No Mako-chan tonight. Evidently, her air conditioner broke.
Oh boy.
And I'm like, how did that happen? And she explained it, and I'm just like, huh? So I do understand her pain at the moment. And because of all of that, she's like, no, I'm not. And I understand completely. Whereas in the DJ Satan studio, I'm here with one of those Vector fans, which is probably one of the worst investments I have ever made. For those of you who are wondering, what is a Vector fan? Okay. It's not your normal fan. It is, but at the same time, it's not. It's basically, you ever seen like a radiator that has hot fans that blow air through? Something like that. That's what this is. It's supposed to keep things cool. Now, I bought this back in September after I didn't need the air conditioner. So I'm like, okay. And it kept me cool. Up until now. And I think probably because we're in the middle of a heat wave, which should be ending now, the studio is basically like a sauna, courtesy of DJ Satan. So, you know. And for what it's worth, like the last 2-3 days, I've been looking for like a small air conditioner. Something tiny that will be perfect for this room, because I don't need something too powerful. And I just want something that's good, but I can still stream while the air conditioner is blasting, you know? That's what I'm looking for. So there is that. Then again, for those of you who don't remember, the air conditioner I had before, the way the windowsill was, the whole thing could not fit out there. So of course it was gonna be a little loud. So I had to deal with it. So I've been looking for something reasonably priced, and I'm like, I might just have to just bite the bullet and just get something and have it delivered or something like that. Because honestly, studio, I don't have room for it. I really don't. But there is a box over here on the side here that's still full of stuff. If I can go through that stuff and sort all of it and put it away in my drawers underneath my bed, I'll have an open spot here, and I could put the air conditioner there, and it can stay there all year round in the box and everything. And that's basically the long and short of it. That's what I'm looking at. Now, I've seen like these little mini air conditioners. You have to fill those things with ice and water. And they're about the size of a bookshelf speaker, half the size of a bookshelf speaker. So I am figuring things out. I am kind of hoping like maybe over the next couple of days after this heat wave snaps, running this Vector, it'll be okay. So we'll see how that goes. And CWBeery asks in our chat at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session, does it have direction and magnitude? Direction, yes, it can go in reverse. I can tell you that much. You can do that. Don't know why, but it just does.
I haven't had any issues with my AC aside from the electric bill going to kick my ass this month.
I completely understand, but I will say, back at my old place before I had to move, and I was paying the electricity bill. I think with the AC running, it was like an extra $50, so it wasn't. I was paying extra $50 on top of that, so it wasn't so bad. So it was like paying between $1 and $150. It wasn't so bad. And CWBeery says they require dry spaces. If it's humid in the room, a lot of the mini air conditioners won't really work. I kind of figured as much. So it is what it is. And Ari, I think you got something in front of your webcam. Yeah, I see
No.
some. Okay, you know what? It's probably the reflection of the light. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only light in the room aside from outside, and shit, it was still light out when we started this.
Well, look at it this way: by the next 2 weeks, it'll still be a little dark out by the time we kickstart things off. So, anywho, now that we got this show on the road going, Ari, how are you doing tonight?
I'm on vacation this week from work, so not too bad.
That'll be me next week. I'll be on my mandatory vacation.
That's good. Can you excuse me for 1 second? I gotta clean the lens on this a little bit.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Now,
I'm still here. I just, don't want to want you to see me rubbing this thing.
so you don't want the people to see you rub one out. Gotcha.
You can't see it, but can you guess what I'm doing to you?
Yeah, I have a pretty good idea. Pretty good
better.
idea, but I can't see it too well. So sorry. Bear says, I want to say they're called swamp coolers. I have a good fan I can recommend off Amazon. Well, go ahead. You know the contact info. Send it over, and we'll see. Because I thought about putting a second fan in front of the closet, so see how that works. Anywho, like I said, I go on my mandatory vacation next week, and it's like you're probably wondering, how do you have a mandatory vacation? It's a mandatory vacation when the office is closed and everyone gets a 1 week paid vacation. But I will probably be doing some OT that week because I went to Japan, so got to pay some bills, so and all that good stuff. So I want to put a little bit extra because actually the end goal is I want probably in a year and a half I want to go back, but I have a feeling that's gonna probably be another 2 years or something, and I'm perfectly okay with that. That'll give me time to save up, pay things off, and continue to search for a couple of figurines and so forth that I'm looking for. So how that goes. So anywho, let's see what else do we have here. We are live week of June 24th, 2025, right here on Twitch TV. We're here live on Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern. You will always find us streaming live here at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session. We're also proud to be part of the Voice of Geeks Network at VogNetwork.com. And they're also on Twitch. You can check them out at Twitch TV/VogNetwork and come hang out in our Discord. VogNetwork.com/Discord. Every show that's on the Voice of Geeks Network has a channel, so come through and hang out and have a good time. And the pool is officially open.
Yay!
Hooray! And now that we got that out the way, I'll go ahead and pass it over to Ari and ask him how was your week and how was your day. So Ari, how was your week and how was your day?
I'm doing a little bit better.
That's good.
Yeah, it was after the last time. Last week I couldn't be on because I was working overnight shifts, which sucked and was incredibly long considering it was before vacation.
Right.
But on Wednesday I got I was at the doctor for an EGD, which is a test they do by shoving tubes down your throat.
Ooh.
Which I did tell you about.
Yeah,
right?
you did.
I got a friend to take me to the hospital to get it done.
That's good.
I was completely anesthetized, so I didn't feel anything when it was happening. Having two tubes run down your mouth at least, one to inspect and the other to pump air into me to keep me alive.
Wow.
Yeah, like my throat still kind of hurts a little bit, and like for the first day and a half, I had like incredible pain in my neck and my shoulders.
Ooh.
Which I imagine was from the way my sedated corpse was laying on the table. So, but other than that, things have been progressing a little bit.
That's good.
Today I had an appointment with the psych for evaluation.
Yeah.
for the, so I can get the bariatric surgery done.
Mm-hmm.
And it went pretty well. She ended up telling me as we were doing, like, yeah, you're not disqualified from getting the surgery done.
That's good.
Uh-huh. But I still have a couple more meetings to get, the appointments to get through and get my weight down enough so they can actually operate on me.
Okay.
And even after that, it's still going to be a while before I find out, when it's happening.
Okay.
I'll keep you posted.
That's good. We really appreciate that. All right, so
I also trim the beard.
yeah, I see that. Very suave.
Mm.
So my weekend day has been the usual, and I actually had an opportunity to go to the barbershop my own self. So I did that. Took care of some laundry. I think Monday morning I woke up and I was just like, why is it like World 2 in my room? I didn't realize that heat wave had kicked in. So I had chocolates and candies from Japan. First thing I did was grab them. Yeah, I grabbed them all and I threw them all into the freezer. I was like, that'll buy me some time. Thank God for that. So
It would have been hideous if you woke up and they were just all like piles of melted chocolate.
No. What it is, everything is like individually wrapped. So I opened up one of them and it was already melted. It was either that morning or that night before I went to bed. Either way, I threw them in the freezer, so they should be fine. So I actually put one by the windowsill thinking they'll stay cool. Yeah, I was wrong about that. So there is that. Things have been pretty decent at work. Can't complain too much. So it is what it is. But like I said, through the work, vacation, so I'm looking forward to that. I'll probably be working on during the vacation as well, like I said. So that's basically what's been going on. It's the usual thing. Like I said, I got the haircut. I went out, hung out with some friends. Just trying to have sort of a social life. So, if that's actually plausible. So, anywho, if you hear that clacking sound effect, don't worry. It's the ice in my my little thermos over here. So, anywho. Moving right along, let you know of some updates that are coming down to the channel and some other cool stuff. Let you know that VODs of this podcast, VODs are available Thursdays at 12 noon on YouTube, youtube.com/Anime Jam Session. They're available at 12 noon p.m. Don't forget, we have Fans View Friday with Wisteria VT on Twitch, twitch.com/Wisteria VT. What she does, she goes into the Internet Archive and pulls up a Fans View and discusses the conventions that was covered by the late, great Kevin Lillard. And this Friday, she will be doing Otakon 2000. And I realized looking at that, I was like, wait, I think my first Otakon was either 2002 or 2003. And it's been all downhill ever since. Yeah. Oh, also on a weekend day. Something else I discovered. I found out that my ex-fiance is dying from cancer.
Ugh, that's not good.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to reach out, see how she's doing. Because I've accepted everything that's happened in the past, and I've moved on. But the issue is, she still has me blocked. And the reason why she has me blocked is because when we were reconnecting, just being friends and all, the guy that she was dating at the time, I don't know if she's still with this guy, basically told her, know your place, and blocked me. So, it is what it is. So, far as I know, she has about 4 years left. So, I just hope she's living it up to the best that she can. That's it. That's all I gotta say about that. So, anywho, we're gonna get into Geek Roundtable. This is where we talk about the geekier parts of our life and what we've been up to and what's been cool. So, Ari, what you got for Geek Roundtable?
Well, there's something I've been wanting to show off.
Yeah.
Well, I don't collect a lot of like plushies or whatever, but
right.
one of my friends on Facebook was selling a bunch of stuff, and this was available, so I just had to have it.
Yeah.
Little bee plushie.
Isn't she from
This one-
Pokemon?
Yeah, she is.
One of the trainers?
One of the gym leaders.
Gym
yeah.
leaders, that's what I meant,
Fighting,
yeah.
The fighting type
Okay.
best gym leader. So it's also just sitting on my shelf doing nothing.
See, it's interesting you say that because you can't see it on the screen here, but over there on top of some video games and stuff is a plush My Sakurajima that I got as a Christmas gift from Mako-chan. It's just sitting there, quote unquote, collecting dust because I have nowhere else to put it, but I still think it's a great place to put it. And once I kind of organize that shelf, if there are a bunch of figures that I bought from Japan that are over there, I'm going to eventually take them out the box and put them on display. I just hope this heat doesn't cause them to melt, or else I will really be pissed. Because one of them cost me a pretty penny. Not a pretty penny, but I spent the most on it, so. Anywho, anime-wise, I finished Berserker Gluttony. It was really nice. And as much as I enjoy these animes with 12 episodes, I hate the fact that they are 12 episodes because they're generally left on a cliffhanger because they're doing an arc. Or it just finishes the arc or is in the middle of one, and you don't know for a while if it's going to be another season. Sometimes it takes up to a couple of years. I mean, like, Ranma 1/2 it's going to be, the new season's coming out later this year. My Dress Up Darling took almost basically 2 years for that to come out, so there is that. So, you know, and I don't mind. So for some cases, I don't mind it, but sometimes I do because I'm like, I want to see where this left off, you know? At least we're getting season 4 of Rent a Girlfriend, because from what I read from the manga, I'm like, I really want to see this shit play out, so, you know. And then I started on Windbreaker, so I'm almost at the end of season 2. I have like 3 episodes left, and Tsubaki is awesome. He is a badass, all right? And then while just talking about this and seeing some posts, I can now go back and watch season 3 of Tokyo Revengers because Hulu pulled it for a while, and then they put it back and merged seasons 2 and 3 as season 2, and they no longer have the rights to the dub track. So I'm just like, what the Hulu, how are you the animation domination home of anime when you're doing shit like this, all right? That'd be pretty wild if I go over to Disney Plus and the dub is there. That'd be really wild. I'm actually going to check that later and see. So there is that. So that's basically what I have been up to. Also, the ZenkaiCon 2025 photos are done. They're set. They're good. And this week and part of my break, I will be working on KameyaCon photos. There's not a lot of them, but I will have them up. And then once they're published and done, I will be working on convention videos, and I will get them posted. The main reason why I haven't posted any convention videos is because I'm looking for a better lower thirds, something that I can easily edit without having to go into After Effects for, because After Effects is like a beast within itself. Anywho, that's it. Let's go ahead and start the show, because I know we're both sweltering here and we want to kind of get this thing going as quick as possible. So I will kick things off, and because we're going to discuss our Ranma 1/2, which is my fandom. And there has been talks for months and weeks about a season 2. Before I left for Japan, there was an announcement about a special presentation on June 22nd, which was this past Sunday, what was going on. And a lot of us suspected it's information regarding season 2. So, and that's basically what it is. On that day, there was a big announcement that season 2 is coming out in October. There is a new trailer out. You will find it on Netflix, and there are new voice actors for some of the roles, which is cool, and I really think that's pretty awesome. Let's see. Kaori Nazuka is coming in as Ukyo Koenji. Ako Mayama as Cologne. Kazuhiko Inoue is Hapozai, which, interestingly enough, He was the original Mikado Sanzanin from Reiwa Ranma 1/2 or 1989 Ranma 1/2, and Akira Ishida as Hikaru Gosan Kugi. Now, if you are a fan of ReZero, you know him as Regulus Corneus, but also he is Gaara from Naruto as well. I thought that was kind of interesting. So, now some of you may know the voice for Ukyo, Kaori Nazuka. She voices Surie in the Apothecary Diaries. Now, I actually did a look on the site. Hold on, I'm just taking care of something. Sorry. On Wikipedia to see what roles that she's done. Something that we might know, like she's done the voice of Kisa Soma in Fruits Basket, which is pretty cool. Let's see, what else do we have here? Shino and Dot Hack Roots. Shomasuke and D Gray Man. All right. Misaki Watarai and Shugochara. Well, that was one I wanted to watch, but I never got around to doing so. Maria from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Oh, okay. Let's see, what else do we have here? Frederica and ReZero. That's really nice. And, here we go. Toru from My Hero Academia. That's pretty cool. To be perfectly honest, when I thought about it, I kept saying, for whoever is doing the new voice for Bulma and Dragon Ball Super, they have to get her. That's who I wanted them to get, And let me see if I can find out who voiced her, because I haven't watched Super, and I was just curious. I'm like, it's only fair because the original voice actress for Bulma is also the original voice actress for Ukyo, and also Madoka Ayakawa in Kimagear Orange Road. I thought that was cool. So I mean, it could kind of
very diverse roles.
Yeah, if it would come full circle. So that's what I thought. That'd be cool if it came full circle like that. And I said, in the dub, Monica Rial has to do Ukyo. It would only work. It would work that way. But instead, it's Aya Hisakawa.
Okay. Who is that? Like, what other roles has she done? Do you know?
I'm going to tell you one thing, Ari, and you'll know who she voiced.
Uh-huh.
Your favorite sailor, Senshi.
Ah. Yeah, I get you. She was Mercury.
Yep.
In the 90s one or Crystal?
90s.
Oh. I got you. I'm sorry, I'm just not, that good with names.
That's cool. And she's also voiced Palutena in Kid Icarus Uprising.
Mm-hmm.
And Maya Natsume and Tenjo Tenge, which is also a good anime. And god damn it, because of the heat, my watch can't charge.
Really?
Because it's so hot in the and I guess because of the context is overheating the watch, so it can't do it. Oh yeah, also Skull from Oh My Goddess and Keto-chan from Cardcaptor Sakura. That's wild. So that is it. So as we know, season 2 will drop sometime in October. Netflix is already advertising it. Most likely, the dub track should be available as well. So I'm looking forward to that. So, and the next thing is, I'm really hoping soon Viz makes the announcement that the first season is available on Blu-ray. Now, we all know that if something is on Netflix, it really will not
can get taken away.
Not even that. Most likely, it will not have a physical release unless there is a third-party connection. Like DreamWorks licensed Voltron to Netflix, but they still put out the first 4 seasons on DVD or something like that, and I picked them up, and I'm glad I did because they're no longer on Netflix.
Oh boy!
Yeah, Ranma one half is being shown on TV in Japan, and then it hits Netflix the following day. So there is that. But and I'm saying because of that it's going to be on television first, we should see there's going to be some. Hopefully, there'll be some type of physical release of it. You know.
Yeah.
All right, next one's on you, my friend.
Japan ranks its top mascot characters of all time in new Gen Z Girls survey, with a big win for Sanrio and Hello Kitty.
Hmm?
For several decades, Sanrio has maintained a globally dominant presence in the realm of cute anime-styled apparel, largely thanks to its collection of adorable cartoon mascots. Female Japanese Zoomers recently affirmed their love of the brand in a new survey ranking the most popular Gen Z girl trends for girls in the first half of 2025. According to PR Times, Phasme, a popular site that chronicles the latest trends in Japanese youth culture, unveiled the results of its latest user survey on June 20th, 2025. It's primarily used by women 18 to 24 with strong interest in, quote, fashion, cosmetics, and beauty, unquote. The survey was the latest trends that Gen Z girls are hooked on. It consists of 166 total participants and is broken into several categories like favorite female artists and idols, favorite male artists and idols, trendy cosmetic brands, real popular foods. And there's a top 3 list of favorite characters, and Hello Kitty is on the top.
Of course.
So yeah, Hello Kitty's been around since 1974. Gained a ubiquitous presence in the global marketplace, adorning shirts, hats, shoes, dresses, handbags, backpacks, and countless other apparel items sold in over 130 countries. She's a beloved multimedia icon, has appeared in books, comics, anime, and video games. The 50th anniversary celebration, which involves various special events and limited edition merchandise releases, has led her to be rediscovered by Gen Z. So, and the site's users have since deemed her an eternal favorite. So, hey, good for Hello Kitty.
Mm-hmm. What else do we have? Was it the whole article?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, there we go. My bad. All right. Let's see.
All right.
All right, now we're going to talk about what's going on over at Tokyo University. They're teaming up with the popular anime Dr. Stone this summer. I have not watched it.
What the fuck is that guy's hair?
Oh, that's the main. I think that's the main character.
And why is his friend wearing a pirate hat?
I don't know. I have not watched Dr. Stone, but Rose, staffer here at Anime Jam Session, it's one of her favorite animes. So I think
I'm sure she'll be glad to clue me in.
Yeah, I think the anime takes place after the end of humanity and they're rebuilding or something like that. It has an interesting plot point to it. But
continue.
Yeah, it seems that the official website for Tokyo University of Technology announced the university is planning a special collab with the Dr. Stone anime series during its open campus season this summer. The university's open campus is scheduled to be held between July 13th and 20th, as well as August 2nd, August 2, 3, 16, and 17. High school students and students preparing for the entrance exams who visit the open campus during this period will receive limited collab goods only available during the event. Further details, including how to participate in the open campus, will be announced on a special collab website to set open in the future. Open Campus is a type of admission promotional event where a school opens its facilities to prospective students. Tokyo University of Technology is a private Japanese university founded in 1947. The university is committed to fostering engineers who will create the future through practical education and cutting-edge research. Meanwhile, Dr. Stone depicts a story of restoring civilization through the power of science and the fun of science, is one of the important aspects of the series. The insatiable pursuit of science and the way the human race overcomes difficulties by combining the wisdom that the TV anime Dr. Stone depicts exactly in line with our university's educational and research philosophy. As said by the university in their announcement, through this collab, we hope to provide new discoveries and excitement to fans of the series and all those who are interested in science. That's really cool. Following the first part of the winter 2025, the second core of Dr. Stone's Science Future is set to premiere in Japan on July 10th. The final season is slated to span 3 cores total. Okay. Shunhei Matsuda continues to direct the series at TMS Entertainment, with the series composition by Karasumi Tsuneyama, character designs by Yuka Iwasa, and music by Tatsuya Kato. Okay. Now, how they describe the story is this. The anime is this. Several thousand years after a mysterious phenomenon that turns all of humanity to stone, the extraordinary intelligent, science-driven boy Senku Ishigami awakens. Based in a world of stone and a total collapse of civilization, Senku makes up his mind to use science to rebuild the world. Starting with his super strong childhood friend Taiju Oki, who awakened at the same time, they will begin to rebuild civilization from nothing. Depicting 2 million years of scientific history from the Stone Age to present day, the unprecedented crafting adventure story is about to begin. Sounds good. I like that.
Yeah, it does sound pretty fun.
Yeah, I might definitely have to check it out, which will be on the list. Like I said, this goes back to what I was saying about 12-episode animes. I like the fact that if the anime is 12 episodes, it'll take me a week or two to get through the series. The downside is, if it's really good, I don't know how long I have to wait till there's another season, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, Ari, what's up with Pokemon? Seems they have a game show now.
Yep, the Gotta Catch 'Em All game show premieres on Twitch on June 27th. They announced the Pokemon channel, YouTube channel, announced a new Pokemon-themed internet game show called the Gotta Catch 'Em All game show on Tuesday. Internet personality David Gilbert is hosting the show, which will launch on June 27th at 2 p.m. EDT on the Pokemon Twitch channel. The company describes the 3-player game. Answering trivia questions correctly will be the contestants' test, and catching 4 victory Pokemon is their cause. That's right, to win, game player must answer questions to catch one of each 4 victory Pokemon: Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. And audience members can play along at home and vote on key moments live on Twitch.
With the name of the game show, I keep thinking of the shouting "Gotta catch 'em all" in my head. You know.
Yeah. Oh, I had to double check what David Gilbert does.
Yeah.
He's the host of Game Changers.
Oh, okay. So, when are you going to try out for the show?
They probably already have episodes for weeks planned.
Well, that's a given, but if there's an opportunity, you should. And just roll up there like the champ, you know?
Mm-hmm. What do we have next?
We're talking Transformers, and it's getting a garage kit, and I'm surprised that this has not happened before. Now, for some of you who don't know, a garage kit is basically a model kit that you buy and you assemble it and paint it yourself. That's basically what a garage kit is. I actually have a Sailor V garage kit that I bought like 10 plus years ago, but I never assembled and painted it because I suck at painting. So, and generally a lot of garage kits, whoever puts them out, they generally put out a full build one already. Or if they don't do that, you can always hire somebody to assemble and paint it for you, which I keep saying I'm going to do, but I never do. So, anywho, this is for you Transformers fans, especially those who aren't necessarily looking for straight out-of-the-box toys, but have a wave of new releases to look forward to. Now, we're going to have upcoming garage kits for Optimus Prime, Soundwave, and Tarn, and it's going to be a DIY collector's dream, with raw 3D prints that will require cleaning, sanding, and painting before looking rollout ready. Now, some of you may understand the sanding and the stuff. If you have I think a master grade Gundam where you gotta do a lot of work to get it look pristine. Y'all, I respect y'all. Y'all are awesome. So,
Now, the sanding is to make the paint adhere to the plastic, right?
Well, that too, but also there are some like kits where you snap the plastic off the pieces off and you use the sanding to kind of sand down like the little
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
that the
kind of make it not
like the molds that they're built
yes.
on,
Hmm.
the frames or whatever they're called.
Yeah. So retailer eHobby is listing the Transformers collectibles at 2,980 yen, which is $20 a piece, and that's a bargain.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that I spent 1,000 yen on one of the figures I was looking for, that was going to run me $25 if I bought it online. So, and I'm going to do a real time conversion. Yeah, 2,980 yen is $20.60. Now, if you add 10% to that, that's how much it's going to be with tax. And it's going to be a debut lineup of Autobots and Decepticons that appeal to the fans and the entirety of the franchise, from fans of the comics, the cartoon slash anime, the movies, and a whole lot more. The first release wave is a full Transformers franchise celebration, pulling in both niche and instantly recognizable characters. It's no surprise that Optimus Prime, the iconic Autobot, leads the pack. He is represented in his classic Gen 1 look, waiting for his blue, red, and silver paint job. Soundwave leans more into a cinematic silhouette, broad, boxy, and reminiscent of the film's franchise aesthetics. Tarn is in the deep country of the bunch, an IDW era shout out dating back to more than meets the eye comics. Overall, the collection is rarely seen but always appreciated. Well rounded shout out to multiple generations of a beloved IP in one swoop. It's also just the most recent entry in a long line of eHobby and Transformers collabs, with the two teaming up for several limited runs collectibles over the years, often sold directly through Takara Tomy. As for what expected of Transformers fans who buy themselves a new eHobby Garage kit, while a 3D printer won't be needed, each kit arrives with a solid resin print embedded in support material. Builders are expected to cut away excess supports, sand surfaces smooth, prime and paint, optionally apply panel lines or decals. While no additional kits have been announced, the inclusion of the characters from both G1 and IDW continuities suggests that the format could expand beyond the initial wave. Pre-orders for the new kits went live on June 20th on the official eHobby website. Collectors have until July 21st to reserve their kits before an estimated 2025 delivery. eHobby's timing capitalizes on the garage kit community's expansion beyond traditional model builders, with the hobby gaining mainstream traction through social media tutorials and pandemic-era crafting, something that clearly still appeals to many fans today. So I can see that during the pandemic, you got your Gundam model kits and your garage kits. Got nothing else better to do. Might as well start putting them together.
Much. Yeah.
Hmm?
I say, yeah, pretty much.
All right, Ari, last one's on your side, my friend.
Sanrio becomes the fourth biggest shareholder of Production IG, WIT Studios' parent.
Ka-ching.
IG Port, the parent company of animation studios Production IG and WIT Studio and publisher Mag Garden, announced on Tuesday that it has entered into a capital and business alliance with character and merchandise company Sanrio. IG Port issued 925,100 shares valued at 1750 yen per share, about $12 US, per third-party allotment, and raised a total of 1.62 billion yen,
Woo!
over 11 million, from sales in those shares of Sanrio. The transaction goes into effect on July 3rd. IG Port will use 1 billion yen from the transaction as working capital earmarked for collaborative projects with Sanrio, as well as training new creators and funding their works. The remaining 600 million yen will be allocated for updating production systems and maintaining infrastructure, such as work PCs for animation, servers, and data centers.
Mm-hmm.
With the stock acquisition, Sanrio is now the fourth biggest shareholder of IG Port alongside NTT Docomo.
Docomo.
Docomo, sorry.
Mhm.
IG Port founder, CEO, and president Mitsuhisa Ishikawa owns 18.9% of the company, followed by Dentsu Group and NTV, each owning 9.85%. IG Ports Wit Studios animating the My Melody and Kuromi stop-motion animation series based on titular Sanrio characters, which will debut on July 24th. It also merged Signal MD into itself.
Yeah, we talked about that like back. I think we talked about that at the beginning of the year too. All right, and I think that is it for our articles. So now we're at the part of the show that y'all really want to stick around for. Meanwhile, in Japan, and Ari, you get first pick.
I think I'll take the first one.
Let's see. Okay. I'll take the last story because I'm kind of sus about that.
Okay. A Niigata man was arrested for stealing over 40 bikes because he wanted to build the perfect bike for himself.
What?
Yeah. People can often be very hard to please and tend to fault when even the most well-made things. For some, this drives them to do great things, and for others, it drives them to do really weird things. As an example, one of the others, we have this case of a 51-year-old man in Niigata City, Niigata Prefecture, who was arrested for stealing 42 bicycles. If you're thinking that's way more bicycles than one person needs, you'd be right, because he admitted to that I wanted to collect the parts and make a bike to my own liking. He was caught on the 2nd of April, and when he was stopped by a police officer on the street for routine questioning, the officer discovered a bicycle the man was riding was stolen and arrested him on the spot. Afterward, the police checked the man's home and found over 50 other bikes there worth over 1 million yen in total. That's about $7,000.
Wow.
Despite the man's claims to want to make the ideal bike, news reports show that stolen bicycles are appearing still intact, suggesting he made no effort so far. Even though the man admitted to stealing all of them over the past 4 years, he is currently facing charges for the theft of 35 bicycles and a further 7 charges of misappropriating lost property. A crime that essentially means finders keepers is not permitted by Japanese law. One must follow due process of turning lost items to the police first. Initially, he said he only took unlocked bikes. That doesn't make it better.
No.
Perhaps on the assumption that they were abandoned. What?
Why would
later learned that he had indeed broken some locks to get what he wanted.
I'm like, why would they be abandoned?
Yeah. Comments read like, he has a lot of passion. He's like Dr. Frankenstein. I don't know what kind of bike he was making. I need to see a picture of this bike. He's not making a bicycle. He's just stealing and making an excuse. I'm just jealous he has enough space for 50 bikes. Was he planning on making a 100-wheeler?
Zing!
God. Oh, God. Now, is it like 100 wheels, in a single line, or is it like they're lined up to a piece, like 50 wheels and 2 sides?
Maybe an Uber bike with 10 spots. There's 10 wheels on each side.
I think I found something like. Fuck! I forgot what I was gonna say. My brain just clicked off for a second.
I blame the weather on that one.
Yeah. I buy it.
I do too. I mean, it's far and few. An article coming out of Japan about crime makes me go, "What the fuck?" This just makes sense to me. So, pilots under something that doesn't make sense to me. A man was dressed suspiciously warm for summer. A man was dressed suspiciously warm for Japanese summer, chased by helicopter, and arrested for fraud. What in the fresh farm? Just like every year, the past week or so has been as if someone flipped the switch from non-stop rain to relentless heat and summer is suddenly underway in Japan. They say this period of mid-rainy season heat is the worst for our health since the lingering humidity makes it harder for our bodies to properly expel the heat through sweating. Yeah, I've heard horror stories about Japanese summers, and me and Cece Graywich caught the beginning of that when we went to Japan for like 2-3, like for the first 2-3 days. So glad I packed shorts. Whether that's true or not, it doesn't change the fact that the past few days have been a muggy mess in much of Japan, and people are doing whatever they can to avoid heat stroke. That is, everyone except one man apparently was spotted by Saitama Prefecture Police in Kuki City on June 17th. That morning, the temperature was quickly rising, but an officer patrolling the area found it odd that a man in front of Kuki Station was wearing a long sleeve shirt and vest without even rolling up his sleeves to get a modicum of relief. Seeing that was suspicious, the officer decided to ask him some questions. However, the young man refused to answer any questions, tried to walk away, but the officer followed him. The man got into a taxi, changed to a train, and got onto a Shinkansen bullet train for Nagoya to get away from the officer. But by the time several other members of the prefecture police got involved, including a helicopter that was dispatched to follow him. What the
What kind of fucking droopy dog shit is that?
I know, right? Meanwhile, back at headquarters, police were checking surveillance footage to see where he had been prior to Kuki Station and cross-referenced it with other investigations. They found that he had used somebody else's bank card that he acquired illegally to withdraw 500,000 yen. Hell no. That explains that. And the conversion here says $344. Actually, 500,000 yen is a little bit under $3,500. I'm looking at this like, wait, I went to Japan with 250,000 yen. That number is not right.
Someone misplaced a decimal point.
But let me tell you, if the conversion rate was like that, do you know how much stuff I would have came back home? How much stuff I would have shipped home?
You had to fly back on its own separate cargo plane.
Man, I've been eating Kobe beef every single night. Actually, not just Kobe beef. There are I don't know if you're on the episode. There are over 200 types of Wagyu beef.
I only heard of the A1 and through A5.
Yeah, and only Kobe is the one that's only allowed to be exported. And here's the thing. If it's Wagyu, that means it's Japanese beef. Kobe is a type of Wagyu beef. So if you buy or eat Wagyu beef, it's Japanese beef. You just don't know what grade or what type it is. So I wanted to learn. Anywho, with that evidence in hand, an officer who was aboard the bullet train arrested 27-year-old Sho Hada on the spot for his involvement in special fraud. Hada is denying the charges and told police, "I know nothing." Netizens have interesting things to say about all of this, especially how the officer was able to spot a criminal so well. Amazing instincts, lol. The officer has a detective's intuition. Maybe he was hiding tattoos. What kind of world do we live in where a guy can't even wear long sleeves in the summer? A nice Montbell Wicron is actually cooler than short sleeves in the sun. He probably had Fraud Mule tattooed on his arm. I'm sure it just wasn't the long sleeves. He was probably acting strange too. Indeed, it probably wasn't just the fact that he had long sleeves on, but how he was wearing them. He was questioned by the police for being suspicious several times, and it's not a single behavior, but a combination of them that sets off a cop's radar. Habitual long sleeve wearer would do so a certain aplomb, but this guy's probably looked particularly uncomfortable as he made no effort to change his appearance. Wow. As we've seen before, police have learned to look out for people who look uncomfortable in their own clothing, as bagmen for fraud schemes are often given clothing at the last minute in order to impersonate a lawyer, police, CEO, etc., etc., etc. Sometimes these clothes are the wrong size and simply don't match the wearer's sensibilities, which is a guarantee that an officer will want to ask you what you're doing. This attention to detail and the fact that they more or less recreated the final scene of Mission Impossible to catch the guy show that police in Saitama are not playing around when it comes to special fraud. The only thing I say about that is, wow.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, like, you would have thought, like, I mean, if he wasn't actually carrying anything, what would he, like, what would the, like, how would that interaction go? Would he be just going to say, like, what's it to you? The hell's it to you, huh?
I don't even think if he wasn't carrying it's just, just standing out like a sore thumb like that, you know?
Or be like, it's called fashion, bitch. Look it up.
All right.
Can I do it when it's that fucking hot out?
I am suddenly reminded of that one Otakon I cosplayed Garda Belt for a skit that we did that we won. And underneath the robe, I was wearing a 3-piece suit. I was sweating harder than a sinner in church on a Sunday morning. Hell, I kind of feel like that right now. Woo, Lord. All right. We're done early. We're going to wrap early. We're going to raid early because it is hot. Unlike Ari, who's living in the laugh of air-conditioned luxury, and you can't see it, but offside, he has like a nice chilled glass of punch that he is going to sip and enjoy and look out his window and be like, peasants, and then just continue to watch TV.
That made me, like, that cheered me up.
You know what? I try. So if you like tonight's show, tell a friend. Then tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent podcasters, independent Twitch streamers, and all that good stuff. So what we like and don't like, we're going to tell you straight up. So if you have any questions about the show, drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. And don't forget to check out our website at animejamsession.com, where you'll find our weekly podcast. You'll also find cosplay interviews, cosplay tips and tricks, anime reviews, editorials, random thoughts, external links to our YouTube and Facebook pages of anime, comics, convention, and cosplay coverage. All that and a lot more at animejamsession.com. And if you like the podcast, subscribe to the podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM, any app that you use to get podcasts with. Show us a little love. And what's cool is some of these apps allow you to leave a review, so if you can, drop us a review. We like to know what you think of the show if you can't send an email. For some people, it's easier just to post a review as opposed to sending an email. It's all good. And for those of you who follow us on our social media, thank you so much. We couldn't do this show without y'all either. And if you want to join our social media, you can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Blue Sky. It's Anime Jam Session. And if you definitely want to throw us a few dollars, we really appreciate that too. You can, right down below, is a direct link to our Stream Elements, our Streamlabs, and our Ko-Fi if you want to click on it and send us a few dollars. We really appreciate that. If you want to cheer us on with bits, we love that too. You want to sub to the channel, give out a gift sub or two, we really appreciate that as well. So that reminds me, I think I need to drop some in there as well. There we go. So let's see, what else do we have here? Yes, last words. Last words, Ari.
It's going to be another hot one tomorrow, which means I get to use my new weed whacker and push mower out in my backyard in this heat.
Make sure you have a tall glass of ice water with you and Gatorade.
Yeah, I'm gonna need it.
I kind of wish I can get my hands on some Pocari Sweat right now, or Argonauts or Green Dakara. Green Dakara was really good. It's like has a lighter taste than Pocari Sweat. Well, that is it. End of list. We're getting out of here. We'll be back next week with, we'll be here next week with a brand new episode. Mako-chan will be here. Ari will be here. I'll be here. Will you be here? We hope you are. So, I'm Ranma.
And I'm Ari.
Great fight, great night. See you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Say goodnight, Ari.
Good night, Ari.
Awesome, and I'll say goodnight too. So, good night, Ranma. We're getting out of here. See you all next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!